Patrick Stewart as Professor X is one of the greatest castings of all time, in my opinion. Literally the definitive version of the character, and I think it will forever be almost impossible to cast better. Everybody got super excited when we learned that he would be returning in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now the actor himself talks a little bit about the changes that Marvel Studios implemented with this version of the character. It's crazy to think that over the course of the last 20 years, 3 different live-action iterations of Professor X have appeared in multiple different Marvel things. You had Patrick Stewart in the X-Men film franchise, you of course had the Legion version, and you had James McAvoy. All 3 playing distinctly different versions, but I think it's safe to say that as much as I love James McAvoy and his portrayal, nobody can even come close to Patrick Stewart. And trying to do it better or recast completely unrelated to it, it'd pretty much be like trying to recast Jean-Luc Picard. I mean, it's Patrick Stewart. You're never going to cast better. I'm sorry, you're never going to have a better version of Jean-Luc Picard. It's just not going to happen. And I'm glad that Marvel Studios did not try to recast Professor X. And Patrick Stewart told this exact thing to Variety. He was excited when they reached out, and he thought he would just be getting back to what it was before. But he said when they pitched him this idea and what they were doing, that he was very happy to take on this role because it was very different and it was in a different world, and that he would be playing a different version in a different environment as opposed to what he did before. And he says that just like Picard, he was grateful that he was offered this because he never thought he would get to do it again. Now, I know some of you don't watch Star Trek, but yes, Picard, it's still an ongoing series. They're going to be ending it with the 3rd season, and it picks up literally decades after The Next Generation. Just like how Doctor Strange decided to do something different with Professor X. He's picking up that role, except it's a different one, all over again for the first time just about, because, as he says, he was going to do a different thing. This was a different world. He looked different. He had a different chair, and it all contributed to him wanting to come back. He also did say that working on this was completely different in terms of environment and how everybody worked with you. And I don't want to say, oh, he's clearly making comparisons and pointing out the awfulness of working with Brett Ratner and the diddler Bryan Singer, but he probably is, because let's be real. We've heard about some of the horror stories on the set of those films, and yeah, let's get away from that. But I do like that he said he loved and appreciated all the small little changes to Professor X, just so people knew that he wasn't playing the same version of the character, which is honestly what everybody thought he was going to be doing. But I think in hindsight, you look at it and you go, you know what? It's probably a safe way that they didn't connect to that, for now at least. If they do it down the road, I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but yeah. I like it, and I appreciate that he's happy he just got to come back and deliver what the fans wanted.